Careless with Cash, the Empire.
And welcome back, episode 9 of World Soccer Daily, an Arc Soccer Collective original. I'm your host, as always, Kurtis here with Wendell. How you doing, buddy?
Dude, doing good, man.
Finally
doing
back.
good.
I had everybody confused with Dupe. They're like, what happened to Wendell? He looks a little different today. I was like, the beard got smaller.
More beard. We have more beard.
We got a great episode today. We're going to talk 100% about Barcelona and their recent struggles against Girona and Atletico Madrid. So let's just get right into it. Interesting time for them, one would say. Coming off of the 4-0 defeat on the first leg against Atletico Madrid. They went into Girona yesterday, and it was a quiet game for the first couple. Well, I wouldn't say quiet. It was a very mundane game at the beginning. Lamine Yamal missed a penalty shot. We'll get into the action of the game, but the end result wasn't what Barcelona wanted right now at this point in the league. They are now behind Real Madrid 2 points. What do you make of this so far? And where do you see Barcelona heading from this trajectory?
I think Barca's gonna be fine. Well, in terms of like possibly winning the league, that's always up in the air, right? I feel like Madrid and Barcelona both are really good at fumbling games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of still up in the air. They're only 2 points back. You only need a point to win the league. You know what I mean? So it's like I think they'll be fine. But they definitely needed this game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like to have some confidence, especially after losing 4-0 to Atletico, because that can really weigh on the players sometimes, especially losing like that 4-0, and then coming back in and thinking that you're having a strong showing. You get Rafinha back, and he's playing well, but he can't seem to hit the target.
Yeah.
So and then you score, but then 90 seconds later you get scored on, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of deflating.
What do you make of the? I mean, I'm not trying to give any excuses to Barcelona, because I do believe that an injured Barcelona is still a Barcelona squad at the end of the day. There are a lot of guys who aren't necessarily hitting on all cylinders right now, who are coming back from injury. Rafinha's coming back from injury. He's still coming back from getting his feet under himself. What do you make of that? Like, what do you make of that? Is this just more of like one of those times where, okay, we're right out of the January transfer window. There's going to be some tough losses that might make you think this is over, or they make you think that it's time to hit the panic button. I won't say it's over, but what do you think is the response for Barcelona because of this situation?
I don't know, I think it's similar to the Premier League, right? So like the good teams have played a lot of games to this part of the season, and this is when the part of the season where they start to slump a little bit. It happens every year, and it's harder for them financially to invest in the January transfer window one. So it's not like they have like new signings to look forward to, like the other clubs that have. So it is hard to keep that freshness within the team, especially when you can't bring people in January. But I don't know. It's difficult to say right now, but I think that if they had invested in the transfer window in January, it would have helped them a little bit.
Fair. So I want to talk about Lamine Yamal for a second, and he's been kind of like the topic of discussion anytime you talk about Barcelona, for rightfully so. He's the new number 10. He's the guy we're kind of waiting to see what he becomes, whether it's Lionel Messi or whether it's Ansu Fati. And I mean, maybe that's a extreme
The hot and
pull,
the cold.
but yeah, but I'm just going off of putting on that number 10 and what we've seen that number 10 become versus what it once was with Barcelona.
Yeah.
Now, I say all that to say, leading up to this game, and leading up to, I mean, in the past couple weeks, anytime Lamine Yamal posts on Instagram or does anything, it's cryptic, it's read into, and it's looked at as if, is there something more he's telling us about his game? Is he not focused? Is he not ready for this moment? What do you make of Lamine Yamal? Because I'm of the opinion. At the end of the day, he's still a teenager. He's still learning the game. It's still coming to him. I'm not going to compare him to Lionel Messi just yet, but Lionel Messi wasn't playing this much this early, so I want to give him grace. But what do you make of what's going on with him with Barcelona? Because he does play a part in the critique he gets. I'm not going to sit here and protect him and act like he doesn't open himself up to the peanut gallery. But what do you make of him right now?
I see a kid who did not come from money, who worked his way to the top, was recognized by the top, got paid.
Definitely got paid. Definitely got paid.
And then he turned 18. Bro, what? What? Like you said, he's still a teenager, man. Like, yes, he does need to be careful because what he does in the next 2-3 years, could have a profound impact on his life. If he takes the soccer route, if he does the Messi route where he kind of stays low key, but he just grinds every day, or if he takes the Neymar route where he becomes
it's a good comparison,
a huge personality.
Yeah.
The talent's always there, but the off the field stuff is always going to play a part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I feel like the next 2 or 3 years, he can decide whether he wants to be Barcelona's captain for the next 15, 16, 17, 18 years, or, if he doesn't want that captaincy, if Pedri is just going to be their captain for the next 10 years, they can do that too. So I feel like, because there are also a lot of other young stars on the team. So I feel like it is kind of on his shoulders, but there are players that can take that weight off of his shoulders if they choose to.
And I 100% agree with you on that, because if you really think about it, there were a lot of guys who were in La Masia with him that got on the first team before him, that were playing before him and getting that time. But when he came out there, it was just so dynamic that it was like the eyeballs all peered towards him, because not for nothing, Barcelona is Barcelona, and they always have got, like, you have, like we said, Pedri, you have Gavi, you have so many people coming out of that academy every single year. So you're always going to have that. You're always going to have guys coming out, but we've not seen somebody come out like this out of like even with Lionel Messi. When Lionel Messi came out of the Barcelona academy, the hype wasn't this. It wasn't what you see in Lamine Yamal, and it wasn't so fast. So, I mean, I take all that into consideration, because even in the game, you see at the end of the game, he's getting into it with Girona, but it seems like that's every game now. But it's like, that's what it's gonna be for him, because he is such a great player. They're gonna target him. He's gonna have that big red X on his back. So I just think it's one of those things where he might have to just start taking it in stride. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend and act like there's no way these guys aren't getting under his skin and he's responding.
Absolutely.
That's the game. That's what they're trying to find a way to beat what might be the best player in the world soon, or a future Ballon d'Or player. They got to find a way to get under his skin. But I don't know if I'm willing to give up on him. Like, if it seems like there's one of two reactions going on across soccer right now. This guy is the future. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Let him do whatever he wants to do. And then there's he's not ready for this. He's not a star. He's not Messi. He's never gonna be a 10. There's a middle ground here where I believe he's talented. He just needs to figure his route.
Yeah, no, for sure. You hear players all the time. Like, I feel like NFL players like, "Oh, you're gonna be the next blah blah blah," and he was like, "Nah, I just want to be the first me." I feel like Lamine Yamal needs to take that mentality and be like, "Look, I'm not trying to be the next Messi. I want to be the first me." You know what I mean? So I feel like that if he can get to that mentality, then yes, and then with having the target on his back. Yes, he's gonna have a target on his back. I feel like he can kind of get into it a couple times with people. Just to let him know, like,
he definitely leans into it. He definitely plays into it.
Yeah. I feel like he constantly has like the song "Many Men" playing in his mind.
Yeah.
For sure, constantly.
For sure.
Yeah, he's like, yo, but like you have to push back to let them know, like, like I'm not one to play with.
Exactly.
We can get into it, like not push back into the point where you're like you kind of get like Vinny, you know what I mean? But like you gotta let them know that you here, you're not here to be played with, and then you get the ball, you cut up 3 people and you score. That's the Messi way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like to put it back to Messi if you want to compare it, but yeah.
And also, this is sports at the end of the day. I mean, we can't get upset with cryptic Instagram posts or
Right.
him being the young guy that's part of, because that's the other portion of it. He's the young guy. He's gonna have the movie star girlfriends. He's gonna have the parties,
Right.
doing all the crazy whatnot activities. He's young. That's what happens.
Exactly.
Ibrahimovic had the same cocky mentality. We've seen these players before, but it's just, again, one of those situations where now we have this selective outrage about him, and now everybody wants to try to, get under his skin after the games. Like even in the Barcelona El Clasico games, it's like you see him getting into it. I mean, he might be the one starting it. I don't know. I'm not down there. I'm not down there pitch side while it's all going down, but it's one of those things where it's like, all right, every game, he'll find
like that.
He'll find his way. He'll find his way for sure.
Absolutely. And in the age of clickbait, everybody wants to find something about something, you know what I mean?
And you know where I think it probably started for him? It probably started during the Dembele Yamal back and forth for the Ballon d'Or, where he was.
I can see that.
I forgot the exact tweet or the exact quote from him where he was like, if we're gonna decide who the best player is for the year in one game, then so be it. I mean, that's a great way to look at it.
It's a good way to look at it.
But when you start talking like that, you immediately draw eyes to yourself. So
you gotta back it up after that too, right? So you can't just say it and not back it up.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those things. But let's bring it back into Barcelona and talk about them taking those 2 days. And it was announced today that they've taken 2 days off of training in response to losing to Girona, as well as Atletico Madrid. What do you make of that? Is that a smart move? Do you think it's just a run-of-the-mill move? How do you evaluate that by Flick and the staff over at Barcelona?
I do think it is a smart move, right? It's just like these players, they're all professionals. They all know what they need to do. They all know what needs to happen. Sometimes you can get stuck in your own mind as a professional, right? Like you think everything has to be so perfect and so pristine that you don't get a chance to take a step back and just be away from the game for a second. So I do think it is a smart move, having 2 days off. They'll probably come back, have conversations, probably look at a little bit of film, not too much, because that's in the past now. And now it's all about moving forward at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what does a team meeting look like at this point before you get back into training? Where would you take it from there? Where would you is there a talk? I'm gonna put the captain's armband on you for a second.
Okay, all right.
What is your conversation like with the team after the Atletico Madrid game and the Girona game? What are you saying to the team?
I'm saying, this is not our best ball. We know what our best ball looks like, and we know how to get there. So really the only thing that we can do now is just trust each other, work hard for each other. When we do that, we know we can move the ball. We can get around teams. They're not messing with us when we're really at our best. Yeah. So as long as we come through, come here prepared, focused, ready to work every day, we're good. Season's halfway over. Yeah, the hard part of the season is over. So now we just got to do our thing.
Yeah, so now, and I mean, I agree with it. I agree with you on that. The season's halfway over, and 2 points is 2 points. Real Madrid can lose a game just as easy as Barcelona can lose a game.
Absolutely.
We know how that goes with them, especially with Mbappe. And right now, Mbappe's scoring on all cylinders, playing out of his mind. But we always know that there is those chances for Mbappe to be uninspired and have those uninspired moments of play or streaks of play. So I don't think the 2 points is necessarily a death sentence for Barcelona, but I do feel like it's just ominous, coming off of, I mean, it's an American holiday, but you're coming off President's Day and the time off, and you're just having that that loss on a Monday on a Monday night on a Monday game, and it just feels like everyone was watching because it was the only thing on it was the only soccer on worth watching at that point yesterday.
Yeah. But if I'm looking at the table too, like if I see we just lost our last 2 games, and from what it kind of looks like, Madrid is playing at their at their best, kind of. You know what I mean? So like to be 2 points down after all of that is not the worst look in the world.
It could be a lot. You could be in a very Liverpool situation compared to what. Think about that. Liverpool was we were talking about them possibly repeating. Now they're at the bottom of the league, and it just seemed like every week they were just getting trounced and
Yeah.
I think Barcelona will stop the bleeding. I don't think it's a matter of if they can stop the bleeding. They will stop the bleeding, but it's just about preparing for that next El Clasico. And let's talk about that next El Clasico. What do you see happen? Where do you see these teams coming into that game? Do you think they're both still? Do you think we're still in the same position we are now, where Barcelona's 2 points behind, or do you think Real Madrid drops at least a tie between then and now? Because to be fair, both teams fixtures from this point for the rest of the season look comparable to each other. The strength of schedule is the same. It seems like it's kind of set up for their El Clasico matchup to decide who will win La Liga this year.
Isn't it usually though? I feel like the script writers always
we get a couple of years of Villarreal and Atletico Madrid. And will they? Won't they?
Right.
So this is one of those Barcelona Real Madrid years. But I have no doubt that Atletico Madrid next year might become a better team, might compete more. I do like how, this is a little sidebar, but I do like how they picked up Lookman over the January transfer window. I've been keen on him since the African Cup of Nations. I feel like it was time for him to go somewhere else and play. But yeah, you're right. This year it is a 2-man race. So, it is what it is at this point,
Yeah. No, I think remember what year was it? Was it last year when the USA played Canada in hockey? And like after the first whistle, they just dropped gloves and started fighting.
That's every year. That's every year we play them in hockey.
That's fair.
That might be this Olympics in hockey. I don't know when they play them. So yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like that needs to happen first, and then once everybody gets all the animosity out, then we can play ball. It's like you know what I mean. Like it's these players. I feel like have a hard time channeling their frustrations into their style of play.
Go on that for a second. Like,
there's a way. So when teams are being super aggressive and you're getting fouled, and it's starting to boil over, like they're starting to get pushing and all that. These teams nowadays, in my opinion, it all becomes about the physical. And back in my day, you could see when players were getting fouled super hard, the rest of the team, would rally around, but it felt like they channeled all their frustrations into, okay, well now I'm going to make this extra run. Now I'm going to make this extra pass, or like they were able to channel their frustrations through their style of play.
Okay, I get you.
I don't see this new generation of El Clasico being able to do that.
Well, that's just generations, I think, right? I feel like we're getting into like a 90s era basketball versus LeBron James era basketball conversation with that, where the mentality is different from guys. Like we're not well, in my day when we got fouled, we got up and we kept playing. These guys just want to fight. Maybe that's just the emotion. Maybe it's just
that's fair.
These guys build relationships with the teammates they have, so they probably, I'm not gonna go full on old man hat with it and say these guys are soft. They don't know how to play when people get in their head. Sometimes it's just about sticking up for your teammates. But I agree with you. There's definitely a different type of play, and I think in Madrid and Barcelona there will be that initial let's get in each other's face, let's get riled up, let's go back and forth, and then it kind of feels like the talent level of the game kind of dissipates, and then you just see Bellingham just run past people trying to get the ball and just saying something that I can't say on our podcast until eventually there's like some sort of like, you know, rec league goal that happens or some sort of some sort of goal that happens that decides the game.
Yep.
I'm with you. I kind of want more. I want more strategic ball in that game. I want to see a chess match, but we'll see what we get in that time because it also depends on, again, where they are when they get into that game.
Yeah. Also, it kind of depends on who plays too, right? So like, I feel like both teams have had injuries. Yeah. So if Barcelona is able to get you know, God level Marcus Rashford back,
that's another good thing. I'm glad you brought him up. He's kind of cooled off. What do you think? What do you make of his play right now for the team? I mean, he's getting his minutes, but it's not looking like the Marcus Rashford at the beginning of the season where he's scoring back-to-back goals in the Champions League and whatnot. Is this where is he still in a good place? Do you think this is a good place for him long term? Do you think he could go somewhere else?
Absolutely a great place for him long term because, like we said earlier, there's so much talent on this team. He doesn't need to carry the team. So he more or less is an important squad rotational player, if that even makes sense. Like he's definitely important to this team. But I feel like, you know, he needs to, when he gets on the field, he needs to put on. So I don't think he's gonna regress in any way. Like Marcus Rashford is always gonna be Marcus Rashford. No matter where he goes, he played like that at Man U. So like he'll be fine. But I do think that he is more of a rotational player now, and he probably needs to more or less wrap his mind around that. But I don't think he wants to leave. I think he's cool with it, honestly.
I do believe he is cool with staying in Barcelona, but I fear that Barcelona might be the worst move for him. And let me kind of like land a plane on this one for you.
Okay.
So when he went to Barcelona, I thought it was the best move. I thought going to Barcelona initially was probably the best move for him. It gives him a new chance to play somewhere. It gives him a different look at ball. And it also was good for the English national team because I feel like the English national team's biggest thing was just staying domestic when they play. Like their players staying domestic. It was time to go over. It's time to go to other countries. It's time to play different ways and bring that back to the national team so you can win something. Now with Marcus Rashford, leaving United, the situation he had, and going to Barcelona worked out for him. He got those initial goals. He got that style of play. He got to be able to get in there and do what I expected him to do. I don't think this team works out for him long term simply because of that academy. They have a lot of players coming out of that we don't. In 2 years, we could be talking about somebody that might eclipse Lamine Yamal. It's just with that academy, that's just so it's likely that could happen. So I don't know why, if I'm Marcus Rashford, I decide I want to stay with this team. I get it. It worked out for Lewandowski, but I don't think it's going to work out for you the same way it worked out for him. He, as great as a soccer player as Marcus Rashford is, he's not Lewandowski. Lewandowski fit into this team, and they've tried to get other Lewandowskis that haven't worked with this team at the same time. I think they tried this with other strikers, and then, you know, maybe Ibrahimovic is a good example, maybe not, I don't know, where they tried to like have them be out there as that striker that works with what they've built in their academy product to, you know, overall build this culminating product that works out for them. With Marcus, I think it's time for him to go somewhere like maybe back to England, potentially Germany. Serie A could be there too. I mean, Serie A, I'm kind of gotten cold on because sometimes it works out for some people, sometimes it doesn't, and it's a development league, and I think like he's past his development phase. He needs to be on a team where he's the star. But Barcelona, I just feel like isn't long term. It won't work out for him the way the loan worked out. The loan for Marcus Rashford was genius. A long-term deal might not work out. How do you feel about that, though?
Interesting. Well, I feel like also Lewandowski was brought in at a time where Barcelona had everything but a striker.
True.
So like once they brought him in, they were like, oh, we got somebody to pass the ball to now. You know, it's not just a random somebody floating up there.
Yeah.
So I do think that worked out perfectly for them, just in that time of the team. But yeah, Marcus Rashford will never be Lewandowski, but I do think that he can be kind of like a bridge player
Yeah.
between the academy, then bringing players into the academy,
Yeah.
because Barcelona's academy, there's no promises that those kids will stay in Barcelona. They go
Very
out
true.
on loan all the time. Fernandez was like, "Yo, I'm out of here, bro. Like,
Yeah, very true.
I'm going to PSG." You know what I mean? And he's been playing for PSG, so I do think he can kind of be that, because he is what, 27 now,
Yeah,
26, 27.
He's in his late 20s.
Yeah, so he's got, you know, years of being like a bridge player. He still can be that guy, I think. Relative to the rest of the team, he's not going to be the cream of the crop on the team, but he's still, you know, is one of your best players. So I do think that splitting time with Fernand Torres and Rafinha out on the left could be, you know, good for all of them, actually, especially as they play more and more games.
Well,
So,
see, I feel like that works out for the team, but for Marcus Rashford, it doesn't work out for. You see what I'm saying? Like
I see what you're saying.
he provides that for them. But in
Yeah.
terms of Marcus Rashford's career, it's not going to give him anything to just be coming on the field as the third man on in the rotation for Barcelona. I mean, I would have said PSG maybe 2-3 years ago, but they have a team now that I don't think he fits that well into.
Agreed.
He's got to go somewhere and find a team where he's got to go to a team where, okay, Marcus Rashford's here. Now we're going to try to compete for something in the Champions League. Will they win it? Probably not. The reality of the situation is a Marcus Rashford-led team probably won't get you a Champions League. It could, but they're slim. But that's the type of team he needs to be on, is where I'm at.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what do you want from Marcus Rashford, I guess?
I kind of want him in essentially that type of, I'm going to a team where I'm the best player on this team. Like this team, and I mean, people can take that for what they want. If you want to say that him being the best player on the team isn't going to win anything, okay, it might not. But like Jack Grealish being the best player on Everton, they're not going to win the league, but that's the team for Jack Grealish. You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. But like, what does that do for his career though? It's like, yeah, you're the best player on a bad team, but it's like,
but you're playing your best ball. Like, it's about playing your best ball at the time. Like, I feel like we forget that, yeah, winning is important. It is the best. It is the most important part about a competitive sport. But when you're an athlete, you want to play and you want to be the guy. Back in the glory days of the Prem, there were guys who were on mid-table teams that never competed for championships, but you knew they were ballers. They were legends. Yeah. That's the type of player I see LaMarcus. I was say LaMarcus Aldridge. It's going way, completely
that's
way.
A crazy pull. That's a crazy pull.
Yeah. But no, like, that's the type of player Marcus Rashford is to me. He's a guy who needs to be on a team that may never win anything, but they might get around the semifinals of a Champions League, and then, you know, oh, here we go. We have this flash in the pot team that won the trophy this year.
Okay. I see.
Expecting him to be on a Barcelona or a Real Madrid is just not the reality of who he is as a soccer player.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So like, if you took Pulisic off AC Milan and threw Marcus Rashford on, oh yeah, I think he would be one of their best players.
Exactly.
So this is kind of
I didn't even think of AC Milan, but that's probably the perfect team for him in that sense. In that sense, I mean, they got other guys, but you know, I mean, he needs to be on that type of team.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if AC Milan was the AC Milan of old with Kaká, Ronaldinho.
Right.
Oh no. That team isn't for Marcus Rashford. As talented as he is, he doesn't fit with that. So that's where I see his ability, and that's where I'm kind of like, yeah, it might be time to head somewhere else.
I see that.
But other than that, Barcelona I do believe that we will May 10th. We got to circle our calendars for May 10th, and that will be the day where we determine who is the champion of the Spanish Premier League. My guess is that game ends 2-1 either way. I'm not going to say which way, but 2-1 either way. There's going to be action.
You know, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 2-0, and Yamal scores.
And
I don't know if he scores both. But he scores.
And tweets at Elon Musk
And-
for the ultimate troll.
Right.
Well, that has been episode 9 of World Soccer Daily. You can find us everywhere on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the shebang. Our Soccer Collective. Don't forget to like, subscribe everywhere. Until we'll see you guys Friday. Until then, take care.
Peace.